Praeteritum. Ubani si kamig spends ni ining bagong segment sa For Youth Information. Praeteritum.
Hello mga kamigs, welcome back to our program, Praeteritum. So forgive me that I was absent now for quite a few months, I guess months already, not just weeks. So at this moment, I am going to share with you a period of history of Christianity, especially during the fall of the Roman Empire and the rise of Christianity. So medyo ko ano siya mga kamigs, no? It's kinda it is somehow controversial, and the shift of the tide from unfavored religion into favored religion. It was very long, suffering, and quite very hard, not just quite, very hard journey of our brothers and sisters during those times. So as we all know that Christianity started in Judea and Jerusalem. So it was there when Jesus Christ was born in Bethlehem, sometime around 5 BC to 1st AD, so sometime within that time. And then right after that appearance of Jesus in the temple by sa iyang pag-edad 12 years old, nipakita na siya sa Holy Scripture, sa Bible, by 30 years old na siya. So he started the missionary works. So just to bring you back mga kamigs sa panghitabo before Jesus, before the growth, the sowing and the growth of Christianity in Jerusalem, let us take a look at first how did the Roman Empire grow and what was the religion before. So as we all know, Rome, or ang Roma, nakasentro sa Italy. So that was a very big city, in the ancient period. Imagine as the superpower, ang kaning Roman, that's why it's called Roman Empire. It's centered in Rome. So the religion of the Roman Empire back in the sometimes around 1st century BC to 1st century AD. During this time, ilang religion is polytheistic. Polytheistic, somehow doon na sila gipanghulaman, nga mga like mythology from the Greek. So they worship same gods, and maybe they just change the names. If you have nalantaw ninyo a movie that some documentaries about Roman gods. So maybe they have just changed that we know that ang ilang chief god was Jupiter, but it was changed later on to Sol Invictus, the United Sun god, mo'y pinaka powerful god, overtaking Jupiter. So they were pagan, to specify. Their gods are called pagan gods. So during this time, they have polytheistic, dagan kay sila mga Diyos-Diyosan. So their imposition or their law to all of their subjects, within those the people living within the empire, they are expected to respect and to tolerate the Roman gods as a sign of loyalty to the empire. That is why when they that's why katong gisakop na nila ang Judea, there was a divided opinions and also reactions. So doon ay mga Hudyo nga nidawat na somehow like ilahang girespeto o ilang gitolerate, because there are some mga ubang mga Hudyo, daghang mga Hudyo nga Hindi ko sila ganahan. They refuse to respect and they refuse to accept those gods because those are pagan gods. The privilege, ang pribilehiyo sa mga nidawat, mga kamigs, of course, doon na sila itagaan nato itagaan sila og privileges nga maka-lead sa government, at the same time some offices, some privileges. While the others, mga Hudiyo, they remained isolated, having hatred towards the Romans, toward the Roman gods. That's why they expected that there should be a Messiah, the promised Messiah, ay padala sa Ginoo in order to save Judea from Rome and from Romans, and to restore the kingdom. So that's why they cannot accept Jesus. They cannot accept Jesus as a God, or I mean as a Messiah, as the anointed one, because Jesus did not even shows or signs or manifestations that he can be a good king. He is a king, but his kingdom is not of this world. So that's why when Jesus teachings grow and the popularity has started to spread, although there was a hatred to the Jews, but by that particular time, who was the governor then was Pontius Pilate, he was afraid to persecute Jesus, to kill Jesus, because as we know, as you need to know, that by this time Christianity was an approved religion. It was hated by the Jews. Kasilagan sa mga Hudiyo for a reason nga they are not the same, and they are believing different teachings, and they do not accept Jesus as the Messiah. So ang problema, mga kamigs, mo to nahadlok si Pilato, but the persecution goes on because hadlok po siya sa mga tao nga sigig-singgit. So later on, when Jesus died, and then the apostles, and here comes Apostle Paul, the great persecutor of Christianity, but then he was converted by a vision, and then he started to become missionary of Christianity. So if you can see in the picture, he started his journey, that's why if you can see the legend, the red arrow, the big red arrow, that's his missionary journeys. And then if you can see the red cross, there were already established Christian community by 100 AD, and then the blue by 300 AD. So on journey ni Paul from Judea going to, because he was a Roman citizen, he was born in Tarsus, so this is from in Turkey, the Anatolia, and he went to Greek, to Philippi, to Thessalonica, to Corinth, as you can see sa iyang mga epistles, to Ephesus, and even to Cyprus is mentioned, and going to Rome. So he was in Rome. So that's how he started, that's how he journeyed, or how he did his mission. So imagine what helped Paul, mga kamigs, Apostle Paul by this time, is the road to the Roman Empire. So sa yun ang iyang pag-travel, and then ang mga transportations nga na-establish na po. And what helped him much to establish Christianity faster in Greece, because during this time there were already pagan cults in Greece. Somehow there's a similarity with their philosophy and their conviction. So that's why dali ra kaayo nga na-convince ni Paul that this is the right one, this is the right God, this is the So he traveled from 45 to 62 AD, and then to 100 AD early Christianity spreading in Greek-speaking cities, and then by 300 AD Christianity has spread along trade routes to distant cities. So ang problema ni mga kamigs, by 64 to 66 AD na during the time of Emperor Nero, since Christianity was na nakahatag ng attention sa empire, even to the emperor, as alarming, because they do not want this religion. What's the purpose of this religion? This is not our religion. This is not the religion of the empire. This is against the teachings, and the believers of Christianity is not behaving according to the according to the demands of the empire. They refused to respect and to venerate the or to worship the gods of the empire. They do not want to follow the laws of the empire to participate sa mga rites and rituals of the cults. So they were persecuted. The Christianity by this time was announced as an outlaw or illegal religion. So illegitimate religion of the empire. So during the Great Fire in Rome during the time of Nero, sometime of 64-66 AD, the Christians were blamed. And even during famines and hardships in the empire, the Christians are blamed. So that's why they are persecuted and killed. Some are brutally killed, and there are some other opinions from some accounts of history that dili gyud maghilak yun ang adlaw nga dili mahayagan ang mga kalye sa Roma. Kanang hayag is pinaagi sa mga gipangsunog ng mga Kristiyano. If you will just watch the Apostle Paul movie, you will have some insights about what was really happening during the persecution. So the persecution goes on during the time of Emperor Valerian, Emperor Hadrian, Trajan, Marcus Aurelius. The persecution was great, and it's somehow it's very hard. You do not know why, but for some reasons ang nakatingala nimo kamigs, for some reasons bisag grabe ang persecution, we'll say that from hundreds of thousands ang gakamatay every day, nga namang ni-grow ang Christianity. We truly believe that we say that if it's for God, it is by God, it will flourish, it will not die. So somehow like that. But there are some factors observed by some historians or some experts who will say that there are 3 factors who contributed to the growth of Christianity. First is that there are people who were amazed and really love and admire the teachings of the Christianity, the promise of salvation, the promise of eternal life, because it is not mentioned, or it's not even part of the pagan religion. Wala ni siya dito. I do not know what's their belief, but in some pagan religion, they just will die and then they will go to a certain place and they will have a feast with their gods. But in the Christianity is different. So that's how it looks like to some people nga na-amaze and then who really love and admire the promise of salvation. Second is that the religion is very appealing to the peasants, to the slaves, to the very lowly of the empire, to mga dinaog-daog. Because the religion is somehow it's the religion for the poor, sa mga dinaog-daog, relihiyon sa mga nawala o mga wala-wala. So it's very appealing to them as well, because they're being given importance, especially on the message of dignity and the value of human life. And third, the most important one, the Christianity grow because of the courage, because of the conviction of those who faced persecution. Katong mga gipang patay, gipang sunog, did not fear death. So somehow during this time, you will mahadlok ka nga mamatay ka because you are a Christian. It is a very heavy and strong accusation or crime for being a Christian. So sometime later, during the cause naman po sa mga Black Americans or colored people, during the fight for equality, but during this time is different. It is the religion. So sa mga Black people, they are crying for equality with the white people. They can use and they can have same privileges, they can go to the same school without discrimination, without hate or something like that. So during this time, it's different. For being a Christian, you will be killed. It's a crime. It's a heinous crime. So for those who suffered or faced persecution or death, they did not, and I mean, there's no manifestation of fear. Instead, they joyfully and courageously faced death. So it gave hope to those who fear, sa mga nangahadlok. Now, because of this faith, you have nothing to be afraid of. So that's the three factors, according to some accounts, why this religion grow. So as we go on, since the persecution goes on until the 2nd and 3rd century AD, not until the time of Constantine the Great, during the series of civil wars in the Roman Empire. So there were 4 emperors fighting for the throne, so fighting against each other. So there were this certain Constantine, and trying to fight. I forgot the emperor he was trying to fight, and he was really outnumbered. Constantine was outnumbered, so he went to Rome to fight this emperor with a massive soldiers. His soldiers were greatly outnumbered. So nahitabo during the in his way with his soldiers, with his army, he saw a vision. But the vision, he claimed to be that he saw a cross, a sign of a cross, with a saying that signo vinces, in this sign you'll be victorious. So what they did, they painted the sign sa ilahang mga ilang mga what do you call that, ilang mga sa ilang armas, depensa. So although outnumbered, he won the war. So he won the war. He was victorious, but the war in the empire was not yet over. So he went to Milan. He went to another emperor, Licentius, if I'm not mistaken, and he issued the Edict of Milan. I guess that was 313 AD. Giving or announcing or giving the Christianity a proper identity in the empire with the privileges. So later on, the Emperor Licentius went with the conflict with Constantine, and they went, I guess there was a war, and then the other was napilde, so si Constantine ang nabilin. So the sons of Constantine followed the legacy of their father, and then until Diocletius, who announced and signed into paper that the Christianity will be the religion of the empire. So that was 313 AD. Sakto na siya. So during with the Licinius, it was Licinius. So moto siya mga kamigs, nga the shift of the Christianity from unfavored religion into favored religion. So it was legalized, and then it was gihatag ni Constantine ang privileges, pagpatukod sa mga churches and dedicated to God. So imagine na nimo ang nahitabo. It's very ironic shifting. I'm sorry, it was Emperor Theodosius who made Christianity the official religion of the Roman Empire. So there are some accusations mga kamigs na, just to make clear of that it was Constantine who founded the Catholicism. No, it's wrong. It was Constantine, Emperor Constantine the Great, who changed the tide, who changed the treatment from a persecuted religion into a favored religion. Christianity was already been there before Constantine and was greatly persecuted from Judea. and it was brought by Paul to Rome. So, muna sa tandaan na to mga kamigs, na there are some accusations because they cannot accept that this Christianity growing, persecuted in Rome, it is the Catholic religion. There's no other religion other than the Catholicism. It was the Christianity. There was already popes during this time, and these popes has no cut, wala na putol until this time, until the age of Pope Francis. That is the very reason why nga mga kamigs nga dunay mga non-Catholics who criticize Catholicism, that trying to separate Catholicism from this Christianity who was persecuted in Rome. No, that's a very wrong, and that's a big mistake. It cannot be separated because during this time, during the persecuted Christianity, there were popes already during the time of Constantine. There was already a council, the Council of Trent, and there were popes fighting for the official center of the Catholicism, either in Constantinople or in Rome. So during this time, this persecuted Christianity is the Catholic religion. It is not born again or whatsoever. So that's just to make clear mga kamigs. So hopefully you learned something from what I've shared about the shifting, or the rise of Christianity and the fall of the Roman Empire. So daghang salamat mga kamigs, o sunod hangtod sa liwat. Maayong adlaw ug amping mo kanunay. God bless.